Morning, everyone, and welcome back to Hills and Hollers Homestead. And hunting has fizzled out again, so I decided I'd do a video here from the deer stand before I head in. We got some things planned for today, so I'd try to get in a morning hunt here. I've only seen one deer all morning, and it didn't even stop; it just kept going. So yeah, not that they're going to stop talk to me, but anyways, it was probably one that I would have passed on anyways. And then here we are, day 6 into deer season, and no shots yet. So anyways, hopefully next week will be better. Apparently, there's the phase of the moon that affects hunting, and that's something I've never followed. But if it holds true, it definitely explains this week. So, anyways, hopefully next week will be a better week, and I do have it off as well. I always take the 2 weeks of deer season off because I just enjoy. This is my decompression. This is my time with God, my time out enjoying the solitude and the peace and quiet and just everything that's around us. So, anyways, lots of stuff going on this week. Nothing good, nothing to be excited about. So, we got a new variant in South Africa, a new variant for and we'll just, the V. Oh, crap, I just about dropped that. So, a new variant for the V, Omicron, I think is what they're calling it. 50 different mutations on the spike proteins. They don't know the potency of it yet or how terrible it is. It seems to be the dominant um, variant now in South Africa. So who knows? We need to kind of come to the understanding and the acceptance that this thing it will be endemic. It's always going to be here. It's never going away. I think if history shows us that the influenza virus goes back at least 5,000 years. They have writings describing influenza and its symptoms, the illness itself, going back 5,000 years. So, it's still here. So the big V here that we're facing now, it's always going to be here. Now, how long it's going to take for everybody to get some kind of immunity and protection from it, whether it be from the pokey poke or it be from naturally acquired, who knows. It changes all the time. But if you're not on the Facebook page for Hills and Hollers Homestead, I shared a post on there the other day, and it was the caption was 3 words, and the pictures, I think there was 7 or 8 pictures associated with it, and it showed like a little garden, a little barn, and people, chickens free ranging, and just pictures from a little homestead somewhere is all it said, or all it was, and there was nothing profound about those pictures. It's just the simple life of how we're striving towards and everything like that. And the simple caption is what struck me, and that caption was "Starve the system," and that hit me. I can't tell you, that hit me, and I'm like, man, that's it. That's it right there. And to me, that is the definition, the description, the call to action, so to speak. When I read that, I'm like, say what you want, think what you want. That was profound to me. And I thought, here we are. We are at the mercy of the system. If you think about it, if tomorrow there was not a grocery store around, or all the grocery stores around you closed, what would you do? Would you go hunting? Everybody else is going to go hunting. Everybody's going to go fishing. Everybody's going to do what they can. They're going to loot, rob, steal. They're going to do what they can to get food. A couple of days without eating is one thing. Get 9, 10 days into it and see what people's going to start doing. So starve the system. We are at the mercy of what stores are around us, what stores are accessible to us. We are at the mercy of what they stock on their shelves. We're at the mercy of what we can order in. From if you do pickup or online orders or whatever like that. Fast food restaurants, just think all the restaurants, all the grocery stores, for whatever reason, were gone tomorrow. You could probably live on what you have in your house for a short period of time. Panic is going to be the very first thing that's going to hit you, because it's the unknown. We don't know this. We don't know what to do. And I say we collectively as a society. A lot of us know what to do. You look at how many millions of people, hundreds of millions of people in the U.S., and maybe 5, 6, 7, 8% max is probably prepared for at least 2 weeks or more. But you think about that, and that's something not to instill fear in you, but realization that if something would happen to where no more food was coming in the grocery stores, the restaurants weren't getting food, and you was dependent to live on what you have in your home. Like I said, you don't depend on hunting wild game. That may get you by for a little bit, but you got to think and realize everybody else is going to go hunt. Everybody's going to start shooting cows. People are going to start shooting deer, shooting squirrels, shooting bunnies. They're going to do whatever they can to secure food for their family, even if it's just for a very short period of time. People will act on desperation, and they will act how they normally wouldn't act. So, I said a couple videos ago, you should be 3 months into it by now. You should have at least 3 months worth of food preps and food storage in your home, including water and or the ability to filter and sterilize water if you need to get it from a source other than your own home. That'd be creeks, ponds, streams, mud puddles, whatever. So every day, malware, spyware, new viruses targeting this device, new spyware or viruses targeting, this system or that system. Continental Fuel Line getting hacked, hospitals and health systems being hacked. And here's the thing. So I've got sleep apnea, and I use a CPAP machine at night, and it's actually my CPAP or my sleep apnea is significantly improved since I went on a ketovore diet type of thing and lost the weight, and I've gotten healthier, and I'm off my blood pressure medicines and everything, like in reflux medicine. It's gotten better. I actually have to go see the doctor Monday because they're probably going to have to turn my pressures down on my CPAP, which is a good thing. But I called, so the local long established and well-respected health system in my region that is not national, it's from my region, like 35 miles north of me here. They were the ones who was providing, that's where I got my supplies from. My mask and my little nose thing and everything like that. That's who I got my supplies from. Well, they have since, they've grown over the years, over the decades. They have recently sold out their home medical equipment to a national firm. And I've never heard of them. I get a letter that says, hey, this, corporate X is going to be now taking care of your stuff. Well, I get a bill from corporate X, and I'm like, hey, what did I get a bill for? And there's a late fee attached to it. I'm like, this is health insurance. What the heck? So I call corporate X, and corporate X is like, oh yeah, the transition isn't complete yet. We don't have access to all of this. We don't show anything in the system for you because the records have not been transferred over electronically. We've never sent you anything. I'm like, I know, that's why I'm calling to find out. And so that phone call, of course, is an automated system. It took me 9 minutes to get to a human being. Their default setup on their automated system, all of the choices on it was not involving what I was needing to call for. Not to mention that I haven't got new supplies. I'm supposed to get new supplies every 90 days. I haven't got new supplies since July. And I even filled out the thing, on the email online to get them renewed. And of course, they never came. And why? Is because this health system is in the process of transitioning all of their business over to this other health system, this supply system. So I had to get transferred to the local health system. And I talked to the person there who says, yeah, this was going clear back in March. It was coded to your health insurance in March. It was denied in June. It was resubmitted, and then it was finally approved on November 10th. And I said, so from March to November, now you're just sending me a bill that shows a late fee. Yes, but you can disregard that bill. Well, what do you mean? Well, they paid it. So you're almost 6 months into this lateness, and you're sending me a bill with a late fee attached to it, threatening me with collections, and you can't figure out what proper code you're supposed to put on my bill for someone who's been established for almost 4 years with your, with all this. So anyways, the automated system all of this, interactive voice response stuff, everything that we are comfortable with, or not, I don't want to say comfortable, everything that we're used to, this entire automated system that we're used to now. And you can't tell from one computer to the next computer because those electronic files haven't been transferred over. You can't tell me anything about me. You can't tell me anything about what my balance is, if there is any, but you are still generating a bill from almost 6 months ago that doesn't even exist for equipment that I've never even got, that you failed to code properly in other electronic systems. So the whole point of this rant is that these electronic automated systems, and there's been hacks for health systems. There's been hacks where they've taken and held these electronic medical records hostage. What's going to happen? What's going to happen if you're dependent on a health system for your medications and it gets hacked? And you can't get, how are you going to get in to see your doctor? Have you tried to see your doctor? Because I'm telling you right now, most times you're looking at 90 to 120 days minimum to, get an appointment with your doctor. So are they going to start calling all these pharmacies? These pharmacies are going to be overwhelmed with handwritten, pharmaceuticals for handwritten prescriptions for all the phone calls. Are you going to have to go now to your doctor's office, pick up your prescription? Doctors are going to be tied up now handwriting all these because nothing electronic will work. So you understand where I'm going with this, right? Like the electronics, once they go down, well, you got paper and pen. You do have paper and pen, but here's the issue with that. Like even in the system that I work, we have everybody uses electronic health records. If the system goes down, we go to our contingency, which is paper charting. But in the end, that paper charting has to be scanned in to the electronic health record of the patient. Now, if that patient is, say they're established in our health system, something happens to them during this whole massive nastiness, and they have to go to another facility, or they're in a car wreck or something like that, and they need their health records from our health system, can't electronically get it. You're going to have to wait. If there is anything updated in their old paper charts, to be able to get it to them, and if everything's down, it's just not going to happen. So it becomes way more difficult. There's no true fail-safe contingency plan that's going to be efficient. So just health system alone, prescriptions, medical supplies, durable medical equipment, home medical equipment, like oxygen, CPAP stuff, walkers, canes, elevated toilet seats, shower chairs, just all that stuff that people, debilitated and elderly people need. So the simplicity of these automated systems are not as simple as they should be, or as they could be. And the contingency plans when these things go down are going to just create more havoc. I mean, honest to God, because people are so dependent on the convenience. And now if you tell me that, I'm the type of person, if I'm taking medicines and all my prescriptions, I'm calling in the day before they all are gone. And I know the local pharmacy driver will deliver them to me tomorrow, so I'll take my medicines tomorrow. Well, if something happens, and now it's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days before you can get your medications, and you're one of these procrastinators, and believe me, there are more procrastinators out there than you would ever think of, and they are dependent on the system to deliver just in time, and that's how they live their lives. And when that's not going to happen, I mean, you think about it. If somebody's on an antiarrhythmic for heart disorders, if somebody's on blood pressure medicine, if somebody's on this, if somebody's on that, and or they're on diabetic medications, and they can't get their medicines now, what are they going to do? They're going to go to the ER. Well, why are they going to go to the ER? Because that's where they're going to get their immediate fix, where they're going to get their immediate treatment. Well, guess what everybody else is going to be doing? Everybody else is going to be going to the ER. Everybody goes to freaking ER now for everything anyways, because we're an entitled society. When I was a kid, the only time we went to the ER is because mom couldn't merthiolate and mercurochrome and neosporin and peroxide we needed about 50-gallon drums of those when I was a kid. If mom couldn't get the bleeding to stop at home, or she couldn't keep the wound together at home, that's when we went to the doctor. And usually you go to the doctor's office at that point. Other than that, it was surgical, and mom couldn't do that at home. Um, I laid with I laid butt naked, face down on a towel in the living room when I wrecked my bike one time, wrecked my motorcycle, and my mom with a pair of tweezers and a bottle of peroxide, pouring peroxide on the back of my legs and my buttocks, pulling rocks and gravel out of my butt because. So I think those days are long gone for a lot of us. So, just like I said, the convenience that we know of the automated systems, interrupt them, and things are going to hell. And that's just like the logistics for like these grocery stores. So we've become entitled, and you could take that how you want to. You could take it as an insult. You could it's not meant that way. I'm telling you, this is our society. We are entitled. We are expecting immediate gratification, immediate service, and we're expecting our needs to be fulfilled right now. Right now. I don't have to wait. I shouldn't have to wait. This isn't how it works. This is how it always happens. And when it all goes to hell, what are you going to do? I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to sit back. We're going to review our contingency plans. We're going to make adjustments where we need to make adjustments. And we're not going to have the immediate in-your-face fear and panic of not having food, because we grew and stored a bunch of our own food. We bought shelf-stable foods and took that extra step or two to preserve it even farther, because that's what we need to do. We're already making plans for increasing our raised beds for the next growing season. Within the next few days, I'm going to get a 5-foot or a 5-ton dump trailer full of horse manure that I'm going to be shoveling into my raised beds to allow it to settle in and fertilize my raised beds until the next growing spring or next growing season. So, we're just, it's just the forethought, the pre-planning, and, deciding what you're going to do, because you know what you need to do. So starve the system, be more self-reliant, be more self-sufficient. Look up indoor growing kits, look up indoor growing tents, look up container gardening, look up this, look up that. Do your research, do yourself a favor, do your family a favor, do your loved ones a favor, because I'm going to tell you something. When it comes down to it, I'm taking care of me and mine. And, if you're not prepared, if you're not responsible enough, or you're one of these people who think that it'll never get interrupted, or it'll be a mild inconvenience for a day or two, you got a lot of big bad news coming your way. So I can't emphasize it enough. Let's just go back to the basics. Let's start growing our gardens. Let's start growing a lot of our own food. Let's start working together as humans. Let's start taking care of ourselves and being less dependent on the super corporations that we are at the mercy of to feed us. Because truly and honestly, you are. DoorDash, Grubhub, fast food, takeout, carry out, delivery, grocery store, pre-made, frozen, all that stuff. If it goes away, and it can go away like that, all they got to do is hack the system, and they're doing it every day. They're doing it all the time. So now, we've got the big V variant. We got Russia building up troops along the Ukraine border, over 100,000 troops with tanks and artillery and all kinds of bad, nasty stuff. And NATO's saying that, an invasion is imminent for NATO or for the Ukraine. Everybody around the world's rattling sabers. We're in tough times, folks. So, don't remain comfortable. I want you to feel a little uncomfortable, and I want you to feel that urgency that you need to be prepared, and a minimum of 3 months. I'm pushing for a year for me and mine, but I'm telling you, you need at least a minimum of 3 months, because after the first of the year, that's when you're going to start seeing the impact of this stuff. I hope and I pray that it doesn't come to fruition. But unfortunately, there's way too many things feeding too many other things going on right now. Folks, I'm sorry if this come across and doesn't fit what you wanted to hear, but unfortunately, that's how it is. Please leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. Give me your input. Give me your ideas. Tell me what's going on in your head. Give us a like. Leave us a comment. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.